James Whitman here with your Havarim audio for June 2015. Our guest is Professor Marvin R. Wilson of Gordon College in Massachusetts. David Neff says of Dr. Marv, "If only there were more like him, we could have a healthier church." We couldn't agree more. Marv's latest book, Exploring Our Hebraic Heritage, is on sale this month at jcstudies.com. He is the leading voice in Jewish roots thought with a deserved reputation for depth, wisdom, and balance. In today's audio study, Dr. Marv uses the Book of Ruth to provide insight into the Hebraic nature of faith and the significance of Israel's divine call to be a light to the nations.
All right, we continue our journey through the Book of Ruth, and I want to begin by talking about Levir. All right, Levir. Levir is Latin for brother-in-law, and so sociologists describe a marriage involving brother-in-law to be a so-called levirate marriage. And what we have taking place between Ruth and Boaz is a version of levirate marriage. The original teaching goes back to Deuteronomy 25, verses 5 through 10. Deuteronomy 25, 5 through 10. If brothers are living together and one of them dies without a son, his widow must not marry outside the family. Her husband's brother, Latin Vulgate, Levir, brother-in-law, shall take her and marry her and fulfill the duty of a brother-in-law. And then it goes on and talks about the sandal. And we'll be talking about the sandal when we get to chapter 4. The scene, therefore, is simply the practice of the brother or kinsman of a man who died childless was to marry the widow of the deceased. Now, in an ideal world, that would mean you had a younger brother who might qualify. In this particular case, Naomi was probably getting close to postmenopausal years. And that's why when you go to Ruth 1:14, as we return to the text, Ruth 1:13 to be exact, "Return home, my daughters. I am too old to have another husband, even if I thought there was still hope for me." The idea of marrying somebody else after Elimelech, "Even if I had a husband tonight and gave birth to sons, would you wait until they grew up?" The notion being that one of Naomi's future sons would qualify as one that might be married by either Orpah or Ruth. Now, the first child that would be born from this so-called brother-in-law marriage was considered to be the child of the deceased. That way you would keep the family name going and inherit any property. So Naomi had no more sons, and her prospects, as I said, were very slight for remarriage to bear kids anymore. Because of her advanced years, she discourages Ruth and Orpah from making that trip back to Bethlehem. Now, in this levirate marriage, the one who functions as the one to redeem the name, the property, fortune of the deceased is the Goel. as I said, some 20 times in this book, the verb ga'al is used. When it's used as a cal active participle, go'el, it's simply translated as the one who redeems, or the noun redeemer, whose responsibility, as I said, was to redeem the name, purchase any property of a poor relative which was in danger of being sold outside the family.